Welcome to this week's Football Talk podcast. And there's Dave. Dave, Johnny come lately, Dave.
Yeah, all right, leave it
Oh,
out.
what? Oh, been waiting around. I've been there, sat here. Dave's been tapping away. Old nerdling. I couldn't even get couldn't get the stream up. The stream was all,
Stream's all flaccid.
yeah.
Um, it was nervous, all right. I had a lot to drink. Yes,
How are you,
apologies.
Dave?
We're late. It's my fault. I'm good. I'm very good. Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you. Other than having a bit of issues with the stream, yeah, it was all good. But we're here. We're here now, so it doesn't matter.
We're here.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah. Let's forget about that. Let's talk about just a quick brief. Good week. You living life to the full.
Well, as full as you can do under, the restrictions that everyone's being placed under. But yeah, a bit of golf, bit of work, bit of meeting friends for dinner and drinks and stuff like that. It's been a good.
That sounds like a good life, Dave.
It's been it's been good. it's been a good week. Yeah,
That
actually.
sounds like more people do it outside of lockdown. So
Yeah.
living up.
It's going well. What about yourself?
Yes, I think I've got one kind of. I played a bit of golf. I went out for meal with friends, drinks. I went to work. It's been half term, so I've been off a bit. But yeah, lockdown to Electric Avenue. We're gonna lock down to Electric Avenue. Is going to be upon us. So that'll be something. At least elite sport can continue.
Nice
The
bit of
worst
soda,
drink in the world. Dave's drinking now.
nice bit of soda water. Refreshing. Refreshing.
No, it's not. It's not. The only way you can make it less refreshing if you add some cranberry juice to it. Because cranberry juice is a drink that saps moisture from your mouth and it regenerates the drink, and it's disgusting. Yeah,
I can agree with you. Cranberry juice. It's horrible. Yeah, it's horrible.
yeah.
Soda water though. It's all right.
Just drink water.
Yeah, I would, but the only cold thing I had in my fridge, which is down by my left foot, is soda water. So
Okay, yeah. Well, after this,
lazy.
get everything in that fridge, which is fizzed and any soda water. Chuck it out the window.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
33 floors up, so that could kill someone.
It might not. Just pour it out, and they'll be like, "Oh, what's this fizzy rain?
Okay, yeah. What's this horrible tasting fizzy rain?
Oh my goodness, disgusting acid rain. Ugh. My eyes, these goggles do nothing."
Google is doing nothing. Anyway, thank you for those that were waiting around, and apologies that we're late. Thank you for the likes that were already on the video and on the live stream. So, well, Josh is hosting this one, so I'm just going to shut up. Sit here. Be
Well,
quiet.
don't completely
Oh,
shut
okay.
up.
All right.
Just about to ask you a question.
Okay.
What has happened in football this week? What do you think is worthy of mentioning in news? What's caught your eye?
In terms of what's caught my eye, the inane boringness of pundits that they have on the football for Singapore TV.
Yeah,
Once
who do you
again,
got?
I tuned
who's in
into
your
the
repertoire?
TV and I was joined on my monitor by Tim Sherwood and Owen Hargreaves, and it is dross. I said a couple of weeks ago we had Emil Heskey and Sol Campbell, and Emil Heskey was surprisingly good. He actually surprised me. Never did I think I'd sit here thinking I really wanted Jermaine Genius to be on my TV talking about football. But
Genius is just pretty fair.
yeah,
He's pretty good.
he's pretty average.
all right.
He's pretty average. He's
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, he's all right. But when you have Owen Hargreaves and Tim Sherwood more than anything.
Oh,
Owen
actually, I don't mind Owen Hargreaves. I thought
Yeah.
Owen Hargreaves had some stuff. Yeah.
How often do you see Owen Hargreaves now? Like,
Yeah, he's on BT Sport. No, he's on BT Sport a lot.
Oh, is he?
So on Champions League coverage, yeah. We get him here in the UK.
okay.
Tim Sherwood, thankfully, is nowhere near my screens because
Yeah, oh.
he is an absolute moron.
It's dreadful. He's absolutely dreadful as a pundit. He's a worse pundit than manager, I'd argue, Tim Sherwood. And I mean, that is damning, isn't it? That is a damning indictment of his punditry skills. Generally, I mean, not too much. Everywhere
Come on,
seems to be
Dave.
getting a bit back to
Champions
normal.
League football during the week.
Well, obviously, yeah. I thought we'd get onto that a bit later. Is that?
No, there's no review of Champions League football. We're just going to cover the Premier League football. So this is your chance to.
Okay, all right. Is
mention-
Marcus Rashford the best human being on the planet right now?
Okay. Well-rounded individual.
Yeah.
Tick. Helping feed children. Massive tick.
Hates the
Upsetting
government.
Tories.
Yeah.
Really big tick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
at football.
and he's pretty
Scored
good
a
at football.
hat-trick.
And it almost seems like it's not distracting his football. Like people go, "Oh, stick to football, Marcus." It almost seems like it's actually helping him because he's just,
Yeah.
giving confidence in life. He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing stuff.
Exactly.
I'm nailing." Like often in your work life, you go, "Oh, I did okay today. I did something. I did one bit good. It was all right." He's got a career where he's scoring a hat trick in like 30 minutes, and he's forging a second career as kind of feeding starving children,
Yeah.
and he's nailing that as well. So he's really on it.
Unbelievable stuff. He's doing very, very well. So, yeah, I mean, the Champions League was brilliant, wasn't it? I mean, for us, 5-0. I mean, you guys won as well. You beat... No, you didn't win?
No, we lost 1-0
Oh, you
uh,
did. And Mourinho
to
chucked
everybody's
everybody
favourite
under the
lone
bus.
club. Yeah.
Mourinho chucked everyone under the bus.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, do you know what? For Spurs, I thought that it was like, last season when we were chasing top four, we didn't get top four, we were chasing top six. So apparently, the message in the dressing room was, it's not just getting into Europa League. This is we'll be winning the Champions League. This is to win the Europa League. Sorry, we're getting in the Europa League to win it. We're going to win it next year to give them a boost. The fact that it's not just competing in the second-rate competition; it's to go there and win it. And I almost felt like this week they felt like they'd won it, and they were just kind of going through the motions. Oh, right, we've won all the games so far. We'll win it again, and we didn't. And they actually played. We played okay, but it was really pedestrian. We were kind of thinking we could do enough to win. We didn't, and Antwerp did very well, and
Yeah.
it didn't quite happen. Yeah, I think every other English club won in the big six all won. I think
They
so.
did. Yeah, Arsenal beat Dundalk. Liverpool beat Midtjylland. We beat Leipzig. Chelsea beat Krasnodar. Yeah, so just Spurs letting us down. Um,
Yeah.
and is it the end of Dele Alli at Spurs? Is it? I mean, it's
I do feel somewhat sorry for him because Mourinho obviously quipped afterwards. You asked me why players aren't playing, and now you might stop asking me because
yeah,
obviously Dele Alli had a bad game. But it's a rotated side, and he's coming in 45 minutes and knows he's having to perform, and it's a horrible state of mind to be in. Like if say Dele Alli was to get a run out with the first 11, apologies, um, and play and go, you got 90 minutes here to perform. I think it's a different. I mean, people say you got to take your chances, and he's a professional footballer. He's got to up his game to challenge it, but it's not the easiest format to kind of shine. But I do worry about him. He has been on a decline, and I'm not sure if it's been. I mean, a lot of Spurs players were under the tail end of Poch's reign,
yeah, but he's
but
still young. He
he's
shouldn't be.
still. It's definitely not all gone for him, but it does seem like those who've watched All or Nothing, he's spoken about as being very, very lazy in training. That shouldn't be the case. That really shouldn't.
No.
You've got games and training. Like that's what you just got to try hard in that, and you got pretty much a lot of stuff is catered for. Otherwise, I mean, you don't have to really sort your diet out. That's going to be sorted by the
Yeah.
club. You don't have to sort your physio out. That's sorted by. It's like, come on, just train hard, play hard, as in playing the games hard, and then yeah.
Yeah, because it's just a complete sort of 180 from that start of the the Spurs documentary, sorry, Amazon
Yeah, he had a
documentary.
good start in Mourinho's career.
Well, and
Tenure, yeah.
Mourinho was to sign at Man United,
Yeah, yeah.
and then it all sorts of turns around. Apologies if we've just had a drop out of OBS for some reason, but my never happened before. If that has happened, apologies if that dropped out. But my Windows popped up and said OBS disconnected. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
we're still going fine. We've still carried on our talk, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So that
think
was a
for me,
surprise.
Dele Alli had a great time for Spurs when he was used as a runner. Basically, his strength was running, pressing, and then he kind of started developing little tricks and flicks into it. And it was somewhat prominent in those early times, but then he's been utilised. He's kind of like the John O'Shea of the attacking world. He's so you can play defence. Oh well, if you play over here, and then suddenly you find yourself kind of not really playing where you want to go. His best was running off the back of him and Kane up front. What is now Son and Kane, and him running onto balls and you got a lot of clips of him running through on goal. Lovely touch and slotting it
So
past the keeper or first touch shot.
that's what I was going to say. Is he affected by the fact that now it's Son and Kane, and Son is just basically is a better Dele Alli because he's linking up better with Kane?
But
Ali
he's just a
always was.
better. He's technically better than
Yeah. Okay.
than Dele
Yeah.
Alli. He's quicker than Dele Alli isn't particularly quick, but there's definitely a career for Dele Alli at the top level. I just think it needs to be in a system which works for him. I'm not sure we have that role that fully works for him,
Right. Okay.
or at the moment the trust in him to actually be starting in that role. But Yeah, it's a shame because obviously he was banging in goals galore. There's always stats, wasn't there, being brought out like at this stage in their career. Gerrard Lampard's goals had scored or had goal contributions of 10, and Dele Alli
Yeah.
has 30, and it's like, well, they're going to slowly be catching up now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting because some comments in the chat, think Dele Alli is a scapegoat that Jose has in every club he manages. He always picks one person to do it. And then Ross saying, Dele needs to look at how Ndombele reacted. Not all players that Jose digs out drift away. You can work your
Oh,
way back in.
absolutely, and I've come to a conclusion that he's digging players out for a reason. It's not a scattergun approach, and you can't tell me if you're looking at Pogba now, you're thinking he was wrong to do that.
No, yeah. No, I
It's
know.
it,
Yeah.
there'll be the lack of desire, lack of kind of energy and determination that he sees from them, and no one should be guaranteed their position
Agreed.
style. It should be earned.
Yeah.
So he can't have a top earner and star player not putting it in and getting inside week in week out. He's gonna. I think it's completely justified to take that line and go, no, not acceptable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's where you'll breed bad blood in the side because people feel like they've just got a free crack at the whip and like, well, what? So what? I have to. I'm working what week in. Like you see, Danny Rose's bit in or nothing. Someone in he's like, I'm trying week in week out. I'm trying my hardest. I don't get in. Is there some form of you don't want favoritism in the club?
Yeah. No.
It needs to be completely clear and crystal clear. You work hard, you play well, you have a chance to get inside. You don't, you're not in the side.
But it just
Barring
Danny Rose was crap. So
Danny Rose, I'm not sure approached things in a very.
what about Milan? What about Milan?
What about Milan? Yeah, he's still just walking around the. He's heard muttering under his breath. Yeah,
Yeah.
poor Danny
So
Rose.
bless him, poor Danny Rose. He's a good player. He should be in the Premier League somewhere, Danny Rose.
Oh,
But
absolutely. I think he's still not very old. He's got something to give. Well, I say not very old. I was looking the other day. I was thinking. I woke up like the other night thinking, who are the top England centre backs over 30? And I don't know. You feel like in years gone by, you'd have still. Yeah, I don't know. He's over 30, but he's still a cracking centre back.
yeah,
Like it seems like those two shouldn't like. Your career as centre back shouldn't be over once you go. I mean, you got Thiago Silva tearing up in the Premier League. You got Chiellini in Serie A, and Thiago Silva did it in a number of leagues, and Sergio Ramos in La Liga. But I just feel like I don't know. Maybe look at it in certain eras. It overlaps obviously in the England national side. You have young players, old players. You don't. It's not going. It's just no age bracket to the England side. Just professional footballer. But over 30 England centre backs who have any real reputation left is pretty bleak. He's got Gary Cahill.
yeah. That's the only one that
Chris
jumps to my
Smalling
mind.
probably enters that realm. I
No,
thought. Is he? First?
Smalling's 29, I think.
Okay.
I think Smalling and Jones are both 29. I think the only one that jumped to my mind was Gary Cahill. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Phil Jagielka, but he's never been top quality.
No, and he's really past 30
Yeah, he's
now.
like
He's kind of like.
37.
Did you
isn't
used to watch Masters football?
Yes, I did. I used to love Masters
Yeah.
football.
I used to love Masters. Was that over 35? You could get into that.
It was 35 or 40. I don't know why. Yeah, it might have been 35.
Yeah.
No, that sounds like too young. Because even back
It does
like,
sound like too young. But
must have
when
been
back
40.
that's got to be like 15, 20 years ago, surely.
Yeah,
And
true. Yeah,
players who had a shortened career at that point.
yeah, true.
Yeah. We're going from tangents all over the place. Let's bring it back to somewhat news. I mean, news this week. Barcelona. So
yeah.
president board gone, resigned, came out, windmilling still, and using his keys in his arms and swinging and blaming every left, front, centre. But Bartomeu,
Yeah, him.
gone. New era for Barcelona, or rumours are a lot of money's got to be cut from the wage bill, otherwise I declare bankruptcy. And
Yeah.
you've got to probably do more than just declare it. You actually got to
I
kind of
think.
shout it.
I think it is a whole. It has to be a whole new era. But can you have? I think that the whole new era will start when Messi goes, and it looks like Messi probably will leave at the end of this year, no matter what. I think, unless something miraculous happens. I think getting rid of the board and the president is a start. Koeman looks like he's already a dead man walking. Like 3 draws in a row, is it now they've had, or 2?
They drew last night, yeah.
No win in 3. I think it is a loss and 2 draws, and And Real Madrid again are just sort of scraping their way through to wins at the moment, and it just
Well,
doesn't
yeah, they're
look.
just less of a basket. I mean, I imagine a lot of Real Madrid fans are probably upset at the news, but that Bartomeu's gone
Yeah,
because it's like, oh, they have a chance to become more of a settled force. But Barcelona currently, what is it uh, after 6 games, see themselves 12th, 8 points.
yeah, it's not good.
No,
It's
but
not
I mean,
good.
I miss Barca being a force. I'm a big fan of Barcelona. They would be my La Liga side. I've always loved. I grew up watching La
I
Liga, and Cliver, Rivaldo, and they are my.
Yeah, but I can't pick a La Liga side because I really like Madrid and Barcelona. Because when we were growing up,
You
obviously,
can have a half and half shirt day. That will go down well.
that would go down lovely well, yeah. But they were so different when we were growing up, weren't they? Because Barcelona was not. They bought in youngsters and made them really good. They had a few people
Yeah.
they bought in big names like, your Rivaldos and people like that. But Real
And then
Madrid,
also the Dutch side of things, wasn't it? When we first,
yeah,
it was all like Michael Reisiger and Philip Cocu, and then
yeah.
Overmars, and yeah,
But they had bought through like Xavi and Iniesta and those sorts of people. Whereas Real Madrid had
yeah.
like maybe one or two of those people that had come through had been there for years and then they just bought their way to success. And it was
Well, they had the core, the Spanish core, didn't they? It was Casillas, Hierro, Helguera,
Raul.
Guti, Raul,
Yeah.
but then Salgado still. Yeah, I had to be always Roberto Carlos and then the Galacticos, and yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting point, again, made in the comments. It's like, what do Barca do? Because they can't get a sort of Roman Abramovich,
No, it's not a
Qatari.
possibility. Yeah,
It's
it's
just,
getting
yeah.
bank loans.
I mean, that's always a
That's
risk, isn't
why.
it?
That's why you think was keeping hold of Messi the best decision.
Well, for footballing wise, probably. But even now, it's not looking that way. But yeah, it's interesting. It's something I think we'll keep coming back to over the whole season is Barcelona and what's going on and what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Because now you're going to have the whole hyperbole around, if we can even keep up with it, around the president elections and who's going to be the favourite and who's going to win. Because it's the first time I think there's never really been a favourite to take over. It's just everyone wanted Bartomeu out. So, and now that's done, it's sort of like, okay, what's next? Don't know. So,
here's hoping on Tuesday this week we can get another president out who no one likes. Yeah,
yeah,
I
good,
mean they did beat Juventus during the week, so not all's lost.
true. But
A
again, Juventus aren't doing very well under Pirlo.
No, a Ronaldo-less Juventus because he was still testing positive, which he was unhappy about. Have you seen his new trim?
Yeah, he's gone a bit all Jose Mourinho in the Amazon documentary, isn't he?
Yeah, he has gone a
Get
little
rid.
bit strong there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, just I've got a question for you that's come from chat. Does Josh know who Spurs beat on the 1st of November 2017?
2017.
Yeah.
Oh God! So 3 years ago. Oh God.
This day, 3 years ago.
This day was in. Am I going Europe or? I'm thinking Europe. For some reason I'm going to go. I think it's a year out. I'm going to go Real Madrid.
It's Real Madrid, 3-1.
Yes. So Dele
Spot
Alli
on.
getting two and
There you go.
Ericsson. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Ross, he is a proper Spurs fan. You can take that one to the bank. But yeah, it's European football just seems a bit mental. Well, all football seems a bit crazy at the moment. It's all going.
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. We were talking about the lack of pre-season being a factor. I just think it was maybe a lack of being out of a routine,
The
thinking,
norm,
building
yeah.
yourself up to these big games and go, right, this is a season where it's like, okay, we're still in it, we're still amongst it. And before you like, and rather than a clean cut, like you've had your normal summer, you've had your normal pre-season, this is a normal start of the season, focus. It's more a bit of like just back to back and then games coming thick and fast. And before you know it, you're like 10 games in and you're going 15th on the table and,
Yeah.
everybody's saying, oh let the wheel.
Cheers, mate. 5-0 we beat Leipzig.
Yeah, I was shocked to the core at that.
Yeah.
Were you not?
It's been moving in the right. I think 5-0. I was shocked by 5-0, but I thought we would win. I thought we'd win. I thought we'd play well. I thought it's been building up to it, and he rotated the squad well, and he had to bring on the big names to get the result and get the goals. But we were like 1-0 up and reasonably comfortable.
In terms of results, 2 from 2 against the
Yeah,
two better sides. I mean, I honestly looked at that draw and thought, see you in Europa League, and
Yeah. No, you can have that
Now,
all to yourself. That's fine. So,
now an even better side's going to come into Europa League probably.
yeah. But if we can beat them, you can beat them. It's fine.
Well,
Um,
we showed we couldn't, although we were somewhat hard done by lockdown.
True. Anyway, very quickly, I just want to get onto it. Obviously I'm not in the UK. I can see that it looks like a bit of a mess from a distance, a long way away. But
Yeah.
are football fans going to be back in Premier League stadiums before the end of the season? It's a 2-point question, and if so, is that fair?
Fair on who?
For example, Man United would have played Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool at home at Old
Okay,
Trafford
in
with no
terms of,
fans,
yeah,
but
okay,
potentially
all
we
right.
play them at the back end of the season, so fans could be in the stadium. I think it's the same with Spurs as well. Have an unbalanced number of big six teams go to Tottenham
Okay.
Hotspur Stadium, and then you go away.
Do I think there'll be fans in the stadium? Yes, right at the tail end. I don't think. I think it'll be like, how Spurs moved into a new stadium at the tail end. I think
Right.
it'll be a handful of games, and obviously, I saw Man United said that they could fit kind of like 20 odd thousand in.
Yeah,
So
they said they can successfully socially distance 20 odd thousand. I don't know how you
yeah,
socially distance 20 odd thousand people who leave the stadium and enter the stadium at all similar times,
yeah,
but yeah.
that might be a little bit drawn out. I'd have thought you got to
Yeah.
book your time slot like or like a supermarket delivery,
Yeah.
right? You come to a stadium this time. Yeah, I think it will be back. Well, it's hard to say we're going to a lockdown now, but I think there's going to be pressure, consistent pressure to get people back in the stadiums because it's obviously the money. And yes, and I don't think it is fair, but I think I think it's better to have fans in stadiums as soon as possible, as soon as it's safe. And so what? There's going to be a bit. It's just every game of football each week's different. It's every side
Yeah.
is getting their home fixtures with games back with fans back in. So it's the luck of a draw of a fixture schedule.
Okay.
It's the luck of a draw of a fixture schedule anyway. In terms of you might I've always looked forward about doing some analysis like retrospectively going, oh look, we've faced these sides when they're in their peak form each time, rather than another side's faced them when they're on their downturn. And there's a lot of variables in football, but I think it's
Yeah.
just be good to get fans back as soon as possible.
Fair enough.
All
Cool.
right. Well, let's move on from the news and let's go to the quiz, shall we?
Yes, let's go. Are you giving us a theme tune or not?
I am going to give you a theme tune. Ooh la 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 la. It's quizzing time.
We're in. Quiz. It's up. Yeah, it's nabled. It's nabled. Nabled is not a word, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's not.
It is either named or labelled. It's not nabled. Youngest managers. So
The youngest managers. So what I've done here is I was just having a mosey around transfer market, and there's a little stat section going for Premier League. You can sort by youngest managers in the league at time of appointment. So this is the club they're appointed to, and this is a season they were appointed that manager. And can you name them? They're in age order. So number 1 is the youngest manager ever appointed. Number 10 is the 10th youngest manager appointed. Do your worst, David Nichols.
this is not going to go well. Because
I'll give you a clue for the first one. We mentioned him last week.
is it Lombardi? Attilio Lombardi?
No, it's Attilio Lombardo.
Oh, but
So
you'll-
0 points for Dave. Unlucky.
You'll give me that one. Great.
Yeah, that's a good start, Dave.
So thank you. And you've got to remember, Josh, you just wheeled off camera because remember we have the cameras on for these these videos.
Yes, I had to get a drink. I was going to cough and splutter all over this.
And you were getting merch, so it's fine. Soon to be released at a date TBC, postponed by COVID.
And potentially delayed by a rebrand to be confirmed. So
No, I've done all the graphics now. Anyway, Fulham 0203. 0203 would have been around about
2002.
yeah. John Tigana, I'll go with.
Not Tigana.
So is it Chris Coleman?
It is Chris Coleman.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure did Chris Coleman replace John Tigana?
Yes, Tigana was the manager when they got promoted. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea 97-98 would be Ruud Gullit.
Oh, I'll give you that's 96-97.
Oh, and then is it Vialli 97-98?
Vialli is 97-98. Yeah, doing well, Dave.
Yeah, okay. Chelsea 11. I assume there's no caretakers. This is all permanent appointments.
These are, I think, all permanent appointments. Yeah.
Okay, Chelsea. Oh, 11-12. Recent. Di Matteo?
No, this manager also managed in the Champions League during the week.
Oh,
Not for Chelsea.
11-12. That's not. I was going to say Jose Mourinho. No.
No.
Chelsea 11-12. That's recent. I should know that. It's only 8 years ago, or 9 years ago.
I'd say 9, yeah.
AVB.
AVB, yes, managing Marseille during the week versus Man
Yeah,
City.
he's doing well with
After,
Marseille from
yeah,
all
yeah.
accounts. I think.
After a
Yeah,
little bit of time out to do the Dakar Rally. What an interesting man.
yeah. Where did we get to? Chelsea 96-97 done. Leicester 94-95. Oh my
This is
word.
obviously this is breaking ride-out rules if it was Wikifile.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting you to get this one, Dave, because
94-95. Mickey Taylor.
no. Who the
Um,
hell is Mickey Taylor?
It might have got his surname wrong.
Have you mixed up Peter Taylor and Mickey Adams?
I have mixed up Peter Taylor and Mickey Taylor. Is it one of them?
No.
Okay. Come on, Dave. Come on. It's in there somewhere.
It's ironic because there's a song with his surname in which starts with the word old, and he had a farm.
McDonald.
Oh.
Gary McDonald.
Oh, Kevin McDonald.
Oh, yeah, I was never getting that. Never heard of him. Norwich City, 15-16. Ooh. Ooh. Who was... Chris Hughton.
No.
Damn, who was before Chris Hughton?
After Chris Hughton?
Or after Chris Hughton? After Chris Hughton is the guy they've got now, isn't it?
Is it? I'm my
The German guy,
Norwich.
whose name escapes me.
Um,
Far, Ralph Ralph Farman is a goalkeeper. It's not him.
That's not the quiz.
Okay,
This is a real quiz.
that's the real quiz. That's the real quiz. Name goalkeepers with Far in their name.
Daniel Fark.
Daniel Fark, isn't it? Fark. Yeah. Is it him?
It's not Daniel Fark. No. No. This is the manager before. So it went. So I'll give you a little bit of history of Norwich. We have Nigel Worthington, Peter Grant, Glenn Roeder, Brian Gunn, Paul Lambert, Chris Hughton, Neil Adams, blank, then Daniel Fark.
Oh my God. Glenn Roeder.
Scottish. I just literally mentioned Glenn Roeder.
Oh.
No, it's Alex Neil.
Okay.
Remember the little bald guy?
I do. Came
Scottish.
from Hibs and then went to Hearts, potentially.
No, came from Hamilton.
Oh, Hamilton.
And now at Preston.
Oh, okay. So I got that completely wrong.
Yeah. His name's from Scottish sides.
Nottingham Forest, 96-97. Oh.
Let me try and do an impression.
Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, was that
Yeah.
good?
I was going to say Stuart Pearce, and then I let you do the impression. So
That's a good impression. What was I doing an impression of?
him scoring the penalty against Germany in Euro 96. When did he score that penalty? Euro 96. No,
Wasn't his penalty against Argentina in France 98 because he missed in Euro 96?
he was not playing for England when he was player manager for Forest. No chance.
No, that's a very good point.
It was
would have
Euro
been Euro 96.
Euro 96 against Spain.
Because he
scored
missed
the
it in
penalty.
Italia 90.
And he missed in Italia 90, yeah. Or he missed in 92.
We weren't there 90. Well, we weren't there those 2 years, were we?
No. Anyway, it was definitely against Spain in Euro 96, and Ross was
Was it
backing me
against
up in the
Spain?
chat. It was against Spain. We
Was
beat
it
Spain
against
on
Spain?
penalties. We beat Spain on penalties.
I know we did that, but I thought...
And then Ross says, God, you two are young. That's nice to be called young, isn't it? Anyway,
Right,
Bradford City. Bradford City, 99-0-0. Stuart McCall. No, I was so confident.
You were. Well, I'd actually borderline arrogant there, Dave.
Yeah, because Stuart McCall, I thought, got them appointed that year, kept them up, and then got drunk on a car bonnet and fell off. Have you seen
He
that
did
video?
get drunk on a car bonnet and fall off, but I think you might find that Stuart McCall was playing.
Oh,
I think
is it Paul Jewell?
it is.
God, bloody hell,
I
that's
think
stored.
Stuart McCall was his starting midfielder in those
Yeah,
times.
club captain,
Yeah.
potentially. Paul Jewell, bloody hell, that's a name that's stored in my head out of nowhere.
I've got a feeling he's done something dodgy on webcams as well, hasn't he?
Has he?
I've got a feeling there's a, or maybe
You say as well. Are you saying we're doing stuff dodgy on webcams?
also maybe it was something to do with not quite taking the dog for a walk. Got a little bit. It's
Ah,
something in his past. Let me have a little look at his.
okay.
Well, should you look at tackle number 10?
And
I'll see
then
if it's.
Swansea City 14-15, Gary Monk.
Here's Gary Monk. Oh, the arrogance came back. Just look at that.
I knew that was the only one I knew as soon as I looked at the list. I was like, that's definitely Gary Monk.
Really?
Yeah.
I might have, I mean, it may be I've done something wrong here and called him out, but it's nothing on his Wikipedia. I mean, maybe just monitoring his Wikipedia page for any instances like this and taking him off. But
Right.
if anyone can in the chat just confirm or deny Paul Jules' sordid behaviour, a bit dirty den like, just let me know.
Okay. There we go. And Ross
Dave,
has
that was nowhere
clarified.
near as bad as you feared.
No, I did okay in that. Yeah, I
I
wasn't
mean,
too.
I'd say as a pass, I didn't tot your scores up, but probably about a 6 or 7.
I think I
Well,
could 7. I'd probably give myself a 7. Yeah,
6, probably,
sure.
yeah.
A 6. Yeah, cheers. Um, he missed against Germany in World Cup 90 and then scored against Spain in 96.
So did he then not take against Germany in the penalty shootout at the end?
He may not have been on the pitch. He wasn't our starting left back, was he? In 96.
Oh, obviously, this is dangerous territory. Where I'm trying to remember a Euro '96 lineup, but who was starting left back then?
So it was Seaman in goal.
Yeah,
Neville. Was Neville our starting right back? Yeah, he probably would have been in
yeah, it would have
96.
been.
Um, Adams. Southgate. Southgate wasn't a starting centre back, was he?
Yeah,
Bloody
yeah, it
hell.
was back. Yeah, it was at Southgate. Yeah,
And who would have been left back?
wasn't it kind of wing backs with Darren Anton doing a bit of a wing back job?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Ross says no, he did. He scored against Germany in the semi in Euro 96 as well.
That I feel that is my impression was that because he's
Yeah, I thought it
vindicated
was
there.
against. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that aggressive punch is a Germany look
Yeah,
there.
it's. I think you're right. Anyway, let's not get caught up on this because we've got strict timescales today.
Right, let's review the 4 games played thus far. Let's start with the Dougie Friedman derby which was Friday night, my time, and it ended up 2-0 to Wolves. And well, finally, I think Wolves fans will be like, yes, this is what we're about. That first half was very Wolves, full flow. It was aggressive. It was positive. They created chances. I think they'd be very happy with that as a first half. And then second half, shut it down a bit. Palace were never really in the running.
No, it's true. Now I've got something very quickly about this game.
Mhm.
Do you know what the score was when Wolves played Crystal Palace last year at Molineux with no fans in the stadium towards the end of it?
Was it Dave?
It was 2-0 Wolves.
Yeah.
Do you know who scored for Wolves in that game? Daniel Podence. Do you know who had a goal disallowed in that game for Crystal Palace? Matthew I.
Zaha?
I watched the wrong highlights for 10 minutes. And then it was the second goal went in that game and Doherty scored. And I was like, there's no way Wolves have got 2 right backs called Doherty and one's just replaced the other. And then I looked and it was like, this video was uploaded 4 months ago. I was like, oh, for God's sake. So, so I can tell you all about last year's game. I did watch the highlights for this one as well. So, lovely finish from 8 Nori.
Hands up who'd heard of him before this game?
Yes, Football Manager. I'd heard of him,
Oh.
obviously. Football Manager lets you know of everybody that's half decent in the world at football. So, but yeah, he looked decent. He looked all right.
Yeah,
Good
stepping
hit.
into Johnny's shoes. I mean, there was a bit of a dodgy penalty claim, which I think would have tarnished his debut, but it's a lovely controlled finish.
Yes.
He's better than I think Seiss has been. Is it Seiss who's been playing there?
Yeah.
He's not really wing back, so I
Seiss
think
is too slow.
yeah. He's getting on a bit. So yeah, I think it worked quite well for me. As I said, it was just a bit of Wolves of old, and Semedo's looked better this season than Doherty has looked for Spurs. So it's definitely. I mean, although it's double the price, I think roughly 15, 16 million Spurs played for Doherty and 30 odd million for Semedo.
Yeah.
Semedo looks classy as I thought he'd do. Fits the system better, in probably better environment at Wolves and more cohesive. So yeah, he's done really well since stepping in as well. So it's
And
pretty good.
Podence has stepped
No,
up as well, I'd
I
say,
do
for
like
Wolves.
I like Podence, but I feel like he's never going to be the one. He's never going to be like Jota's doing for Liverpool. I don't think he's ever going to be consistently delivering goal contributions.
No.
He's so tidy on the ball. I just can't see him then creating. He reminds me of the way he's very light on his feet. Some players just look very light on feet. Like kind of Aaron Lennon always looked like the change of
Sort of,
direction, the pace just looks so kind of
yeah,
nimble.
like floating, like as if
Yeah.
they just push off the air rather than
Yeah,
have to touch
opposite
the
to like
hard
a Harry
ground.
Maguire, where it feels like his whole back is dragging him into the floor.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And then obviously there was a bit of VAR in here with the red card. Did you see the tackle? Did you?
Yes, and
Is it a red? Is it a red because it's slowed down on VAR and it goes high? He does catch him high. He does catch the ankle. He's very
yeah,
clearly going for the ball, but
he's very clean, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
could have
going
broken
clean
his
down for
ankle.
the
Red
ball.
card.
He could have broken it. It was excessive force or kind of danger to the opponent. So I've no qualms about those
Yeah,
being red cards.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. And that puts Wolves back. Well, after that game, it put them into the top three. Um,
Quietly going about their business, aren't they?
yeah, they are. They are
Because
doing.
again, I mentioned it with Leicester the other week. It's changes again. Who's the player who coming in at centre back? Kilman, is it? Coming at centre back. You
Yeah,
obviously got Nori playing left back. You got Prudence coming in doing a Jota role. It's a changing again. Dendonker's playing more football. It's for a side who was kind of very very settled for his first two seasons. It's now a bit more of a flux and but still delivering results. It's impressive again. Nuno, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be some sides who will be looking at him going, "This is very good work for a number of years now," and his stock continues to rise. I'd say.
I think that is true, and I think Wolves will throw money at him to stay. And they're obviously a club that can afford to do that. So
Yeah,
I think they'll try and
potentially.
keep him there
Yeah,
for as long as
I
possible.
wouldn't want to see him leave because I like the way the whole setup works. I just think there will be some suitors, and then it will obviously depend on what Nuno's wants and dreams are
Yeah,
ultimately. Is
very
it
true.
earn more money and stay at Wolves, or is it to manage somewhere different? Because players and managers want changes in.
Yeah, but Wolves with the investment they've got, they can potentially have into the club and behind them, they could They could
Oh,
get
it
Europe,
seems like it's
Champions
open
League.
season this season, doesn't it? It seems
Yeah,
like there could be a few surprises and a few shocks. So
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
especially with no European football and players being fatigued and stuff, it's could make a good
yeah,
run of it.
very
All right,
true.
we'll go to the Sun G High derby. We'll go to Bramall Lane, Sheffield United, Man City.
Nice. Sunji
Um,
High, what a player.
Sun G High. So after 7 games last season, Sheffield United had 8 points. They now have 1 point. After I think I'm right in saying this. I'll make a note of this. Yeah, after they scored 3 goals, him and Burnley scored 3 goals after 7 games. How many do you reckon Derby had after 7 games in their worst ever season?
4.
Yes, they did have
They
4.
did 4. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
nailing the questions today.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not looking pretty for Sheffield United.
No, it's not. And we had I can remember last year, very early on in the season, we did a podcast and we said Sheffield United are surprising everyone. And there was a few comments on that video that was said, I don't know why everyone's so surprised by this. Like Chris Wilder's tactical genius has been dominating the divisions he's always been in, and he's done well. And he's just brought that to the Premier League. Yeah, not so much anymore.
I'm not questioning Chris Wilder's tactical ability, although there's a certain element of tactics in the fact that they just seem reluctant to put the ball in the box. It's very much overlapping Sander Berger, and
Yeah.
just he's a class above. I'm trying to talk Wolves out of the manager, and now talking Sheffield United out of their star central midfielder, but he is not long for Bramall Lane. He is going to operate at a level above. He's somewhat Yaya Toure about him. His size and his position and his kind of attacking and defensive skill set. There's a little bit of Yaya Toure about him, and I was a
Yeah.
fan before, and I kind of had eyed him up as a potential solution
Well,
to Spurs' problems. But
I think a lot of people, yeah, were surprised when he moved to Sheffield United. They were like,
yeah,
they've got a steal, they've done really well, and it's a sign of how they're growing. But didn't really change much else, and it's sort of affecting them now. I think.
yeah, it's just a lack of goals. They're not putting the ball in to create chances, and even when they do create chances, you got McGoldrick, McBurney, and I mean Brewster's still going to have time to adapt, but there's not a lot of goals there. So I am concerned for them because they're still reasonably tight at the back. They're losing kind of like 1-0. I think that's Man City and Liverpool by 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you don't score goals, you don't really stand a chance of winning games, unfortunately.
No.
But on the other side, it's a bit of a different Man City we've said this season, isn't it? Great defence, solid midfield, awful attack. Who is this Man City?
Yeah, they can't seem to get an attack that clicks. I mean, Jesus started because Aguero was injured. Aguero came on, subbed off at half time. Turned out he had another injury. Jesus is injured. Sterling goes up front, and it seems to have
Ferran Torres was the kind of the focal point yesterday.
Yeah, but
he seemed he had a really nice movement and didn't look like he was playing out of position. But they signed him as a Sane replacement and missing that pace down the wing because Riyad Mahrez has got to be one of the most infuriating players. He is incredibly selfish. I'll have a new feature. Who's the selfish player of the week? Selfish player of the week.
Generally,
and who did I call out? I called out Salah and someone else last week, didn't I?
You did.
No.
Salah and someone, yeah.
Salah and someone, but yeah, I mean, it's maybe it's North African left-footed right wingers is where it's at actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that you'd probably want Mahrez out the side. Torres maybe operating wing, or I did quite like when Bernardo Silva operated on the wing, and then they really do need to get a legitimate forward back up front because I think that's helping them. But it was De Bruyne yesterday. A lot of poor choices or poor executed balls just didn't quite work for them.
No. Who would you say is more selfish, Salah or Mahrez? Question in chat.
I would say I can accept Salah's selfishness more because of the incredible end product.
Yeah, okay.
I can't accept Mahrez's selfishness because once in a few games he whips in a beaut and But yeah, I mean Kyle Walker again, a little shout out Kyle Walker again. He's just a really good player. He's not a great player. He's a really good player.
He's a solid player.
Solid player. Yeah.
Great hit as well. Great hit.
Yeah, he did something similar against Arsenal versus Chesney a few years back. Well, probably quite a few years back for Spurs. He's got that in the locker. Yeah. All right, we'll move on. Keep the ball ticking over. We'll go to the John Harley derby.
I was Burnley wondering who this was going to be as a player.
Not a welcome path. Yeah, Burnley, Chelsea, and Chelsea doing pretty well. Burnley obviously lost to Spurs on last Monday. Spurs ground out a win there, and Chelsea went one better and did a pretty dominant performance, really. And
Burnley it looked like there was no effort for defending, and that's what Burnley have been for so long.
I mean, Dyche is surely going to be fuming with the set piece.
Yeah, that marking for Zuma was horrendous. I think it was Tarkowski that got caught under the ball, but
Tarkowski had a bit of a ropey game against Spurs and didn't have a great game here. He got caught out in behind a few times, and it's not good. Not all singing for him, is it, at the moment, is it?
No, and I titled this podcast today is Dyche could be leaving or something. I can't remember what I titled it now, but and it was like I just can't see Dyche to leave Burnley is what I titled it. I just can't see him staying. I can't see him staying there for everything he's done. The investment he's got back from the club is horrendous. £1 million they had to spend this summer, and well, they could have had more, but they spent $1 million on Dale Stephens? Yeah, Dale Stephens, and he played and he looked shocking yesterday and last night. Last night, and the ease of Chelsea didn't even look at their best yesterday. They didn't look at their best.
I'll tell you who's looking good is Thiago Silva. Apart from first game aside, he's been imperious. He just adds that level of just focus, concentration. He's a leader. He just organises. He has been a cracking signing, and obviously same with Mendy. Mendy in goal. 5 clean sheets out of 6, I think it is.
Yeah.
Obviously Ziyech coming into the side now. Ziyech kind of makes that 4-3-3 tick a bit more. I always enjoyed him for Ajax. That kind of there's the similarities with Mahrez. That selfishness about him. He will get a lot of shots off and hold on to the ball, but all action. It's looking better for Chelsea.
It is looking better, and I think it's still good to see that they're not Lampard is he managing the team? When does he? No, rotating is a better word in terms of the likes of Mason Mount, Abraham.
Good game yesterday,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're still coming in, and everyone plays well when they play. And I
I think
think,
part of it will be trying to find a formula that works as well.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think you might see a more settled side when he goes, "This is what it is," rather than I think it's more of a maybe both things. One is for fitness thing. Two, he's trying to make it tick at the moment. But as soon as he finds that winning formula, I think he would be a bit more inclined to settle.
yeah, I think so. But I think that's also going to give him a headache because people are going to be saying, "Oi,
Absolutely,
why
yeah.
am I not playing?" sort of thing. So, but yeah, a cracking result for Chelsea. It does really well for them. Pushes them up into fourth, I want to say, maybe third. Zuma always has a bit of a brain fart in him, but played
He
okay
is.
next to
That's where
Thiago
it's not
Silva.
quite ticking along. It's not like they kind of changed formation a bit now, and when they changed formation under Conte, they went on that massive run and won the league. I just don't think they got the defensive solidity with Zuma
No,
being the centre back partner there.
yeah, I
Kante will
agree.
do all he can, Thiago Silva will do all he can, Mendy and Chilwell and Reece James, Azpilicueta, but I just think that Zuma is just a bit
Yeah,
low. I think there.
and Timo Werner ticking along nicely, another goal. Do you think
Another
he'll?
goal, yeah.
Do you think he's going to struggle this season? I can't remember
I
what you
just
said.
I don't think he's as good as people think he is.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he's a good striker, but I don't think he's an elite striker. I don't think after this, I just can't see anybody else. I don't think he'll make another step up and go to a proper elite level. I think he'll be a good Premier League striker.
Okay. Yeah, I've taken a leaf out of your book with that one and said I think next season he's going to be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, quite
So
possibly. Yeah, I just think there's a lot of moving parts. Will Frank Lampard still be there? There's a lot of pressure and things can go messy very quickly. A lot of investment at Chelsea in terms of players in, players out. Yeah,
so
maybe,
very
maybe.
quickly then for you, Sean Dyche. You think he's going to stay? I think he will go. I think he'll be. I think he'll walk either just before Christmas or in January if they're not going to give him any money.
I think he'll stay. I just think I don't know. I think he's just settled there. I think
Yeah.
he'd have to be pushed.
Okay. No, I think he'll walk if he doesn't get the investment.
All right,
Okay.
let's quickly move on then to the TT Camera derby.
What a player.
What a player! 2-1 Liverpool and Jota already on five, more than Firmino and Mane.
Yeah.
Most bench. He's been a pretty good sign, hasn't he, Dave?
He's my surprise summer signing. I didn't think he'd be this good. I think he could be one of the signings of the summer. I think, judging by what he's done already, holding to break into that front three that is so
Oh, it's
good.
no mean feat, is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's also though they won that game from an assist from Shaqiri and Jota scoring, which when you
Yeah.
look at that squad, you think they're two people that probably weren't going to get too much game time. Jota, they
No,
maybe
absolutely.
more,
I
but
mean, a cracking assist from Shakira. It's a lovely,
yeah,
lovely goal. He's got that in a locker. And then what do you have? Is it Phillips at centre back coming
yeah,
in? He's used the squad. He's used the squad pretty well. It's
he is rotating.
yeah,
And West Ham probably feel a little bit unlucky to lose. I think they played relatively well. Good goal from Fornals, well placed past Allison into the corner. Could have had a
yeah. I
second
mean,
as
at
well,
first
but
glance, I thought that was Adrian still in goal.
yeah. But I think West Ham seem to be. They would
I
have
think
penciled
it
this
was a
as a
real
loss.
shame. I think they would have been. I mean, I imagine Moyes is probably thinking, if only I had Antonio fit. If only I
Yeah.
had him
Oh,
ready to go. Because Haller is just. Are we talking about Dele Alli being in the right system? It's not the right system for Haller. It's
no,
not.
no.
He is just. He's somewhat of a luxury player on that side. He's not got the same enthusiasm or energy that Antonio offers. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it's not. It didn't really work for him. And Yarmolenko came on and won the same amount of headers and completed more dribbles in 15 minutes than Haller did.
And Yarmolenko is someone they try to actively sell in the window. So yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, we've got a few comments just for the Burnley stuff. Burnley needed to buy in the window, and maybe they should have sold Tarkowski because Leicester bids. Was it Leicester and then West Ham bid like 30 million or something?
I agree because I also don't think that the way they set up, they aren't wedded by big names. It's a system. It's a defensive system. If someone wants a player who works well in the Burnley system, I'm not sure he's going to work well out of that system. So I think you could have sold Tarkowski, Ben
Yeah.
Mee, Kevin Long, is it centre back? I don't think you'd have seen a massive step off, and that could have been used. Whether I don't
Yeah.
know whether that would have been invested or whether it would have been pocketed, though, is a different
It's
thing.
interesting as well in the comments, Josh, that there's a conversation happening similar to what we said. As in, you said you think he'll stay, and I think he'll go. And we've got someone saying, will he stay? And well, the question is, will he stay even if Burnley are relegated? But then Ross thinks he'll leave this season. Like me, I think he'll leave this
I
season.
would say that Dyche would feel entitled somewhat to a Premier League job. I feel
Yeah.
like he's shown time and time again he has the capabilities to be a Premier League manager with limited resources. So I feel that if he would not. But I also think he's a man of his word and a man of honour. So I feel like he wouldn't want to jump ship. But I feel like he would feel like he should be getting a Premier League job and be managing the Premier League.
Okay.
All right.
So very quickly, wait, you're hosting, but I'm going to very quickly ask you a question. Tottenham game, what do you think? Tottenham Brighton.
I think Spurs will win. I think we'll fight back after a poor midweek performance. And Dombele will back in the side, give us a bit of speed and verve in attack. So I think that'll be a good win. Brighton have kind of petered away a little bit, but yeah, probably 2-0 for a majority of the game. Then they'll score later on, make it a bit nervy, but 2-1 win.
Okay, nice.
Man United Arsenal.
My head says 0-0, really boring game because it's Man United Arsenal and both teams are pretty not brilliant, but we've played well and I think we will cause them trouble. David Luiz missing, weird to say it, but I think is a miss for Arsenal because it's Mustafi that has to come in. So I will go 2-0 United, but it'll be nervy.
Yeah, I can't see Arsenal. I'd say Man United to get something out of this game.
2-1, Aubameyang will score. 2-1. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Just quickly then, Villa Southampton.
Southampton to nick it again, maybe 2-1, 1-0, something like
Yeah, I
that.
think
Villa will be
Southampton as well. Southampton have been on the rise, and
Villa will be
have been-
unlucky, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And Newcastle Everton.
0-0. Newcastle to not attack, Everton to be blunted by lack of Digne, lack of Richarlison.
Yeah, didn't only for one game after they got downgraded as well.
Yeah.
That's a different precedent, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right, just quickly, Josh, betting-wise, bets are on the screen now. Congratulations for your cash-out win of 33 pence.
Which made Dave unhappy.
Made me very
out.
unhappy. I didn't know cash-outs were an option in this sensible betting, but I guess it is
Well, it's a
sensible.
sensible thing to do. Very
Yeah,
sensible
it
thing
was.
to do, cash out. I was, I saw it with 10 minutes left of the Man City game. Thought I didn't have it on, but I thought, you know what, cashing out for 33p instead of 36p, why not?
Yeah.
90% of my winnings there. I don't need that extra 3p. That wasn't going to make or break my weekend, so I cashed out. Came close to the other one, so I had Liverpool to win. I came close to one other one. Liverpool to win and there to be over 3.5 goals, so I was 1 goal shy. The other game was both teams to score and Burnley to win, which did not go according to plan because one team scored and that was 3 goals against Burnley.
Yeah.
But so I offset the losses. So I spent 60p, won back 33p. So
Gives
not
you
great.
a total budget of just under £16, I think it is now.
Yes,
isn't it?
£15.98 I've got in the old fun box.
Yeah, good.
Self-save.
I went with Liverpool to win with a -1 handicap, which obviously didn't happen because it ended them being a draw. With
Yes.
2-1 win is now a draw.
So similar to me then. In lots of you thought pretty more goals, didn't you?
Yes, and then similar to you, I said Burnley would win or draw v Chelsea, and they didn't. They got hammered. So I'm never backing Burnley again, ever.
No, I don't think we should. Unless we back them to lose. Let's back them to lose.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I put £1 on and got absolutely diddly squat back. So I've dropped down to level par for the funometer.
Oh, are you? Okay,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Back to the £15 that I started with. So not too bad. I had that one big bet win. I've had a couple of wins and I've lost it all.
One bigger, yeah.
If you want sensible betting, follow Josh at the moment. That's the way it is. It is going. So that's a quick update on the sensible bet. If you remember, only bet what you can afford. Go and look at gambleaware.co.uk if you have any issues and stuff like that. So,
Lovely.
Yeah.
Right, have we got time for a quick Wikifile?
We've got time for a quick Wikifile. Of course we have. I got a Wikifile for you. Hey, there we go. So, you to me, and right, if I see it, say it, I guess. Youth grit. I mean, another one straight out the womb into a youth academy. Middlesbrough from date of birth to 2001. Made the senior team at Middlesbrough. 181 appearances, 17 goals, 2001 to 2009 at Middlesbrough. He went on loan for a season, maybe 6 months, to Sunderland in 2003, where he played 7 times and scored 3 goals. In 2009-2011, he was at Aston Villa, 63 appearances, 9 goals. 2011-2013, Liverpool, 65 appearances, 3 goals. I think I've got it from that move. 2013-2015, West Ham United, 69 appearances, 7 goals. 2015-2019, Middlesbrough, back to Middlesbrough, 153 appearances, 9 goals. One season to round out his career at Blackburn Rovers, 2019-2020, 41 appearances, 2 goals. We are looking at the man who got an stupidly large amount of England caps, Stuart Downing.
Well, on that note, how many England caps did Stuart Downing get?
He got more than 0, which was too many.
David.
I'll go with 12. Less. Up. Oh my God, 20. 25. 30. 35.
35 England caps.
Oh my, that's.
And how many goals did he get in that time?
2.
0.
0. Oh, damn it. That's too many England caps. He wasn't.
That is a lot of England caps for Stuart Downing. That is.
That's a lot of England caps for someone that was in the England squad because he had a good left foot, and that was it.
Yes, he was left-footed. That was, he luckily came on the scene when England probably was still going, how could we have spent so long without a left-sided player? And then we were like, well, make sure we have a left-sided player in there.
Yeah, that is ridiculously large amount of England caps. But I nailed the Wikifile. What prompted you to Stuart Downing?
Ooh, that is a good question, David, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was because thought, what's he up to these days? Is he still playing?
And he's just retired.
During his spare time, Downing has DJ'd at several nightclubs in Middlesbrough, while also playing sets in Ibiza, among other places.
There you go.
Would you have thought that would have happened?
No, I thought he would have been really, really boring.
He does have the look of a man who would not. I mean, we don't know what music he is playing. He may be playing.
True, like "Come On Eileen" over and over again at the end of the night in Ibiza.
Just on the mic.
Yeah. Overrated? Was he overrated, Stuart Downing?
I thought he was all right. I think he's a decent Premier League player. I think he could probably do without the Liverpool stint in his career. There's a lot of English players could that with Charlie Adams, Andy Carrolls, and whoever's could do without Liverpool tarnish on their career because it just didn't go well for any of them really. I don't think.
I only remember Stuart Downing being good at Middlesbrough, and I think a lot of people he got signings because of that stint when he first burst on the scene at Middlesbrough.
I remember Spurs were heavily linked with him around the same time Gareth Bale, and it was like, oh dear.
No, yeah. You made the right choice. You made the right choice.
Thank you. Yeah. So. Okay. Well, that brings an end to the podcast this week. Unless you have any other business, Dave.
One other business. Are you watching the Spurs game? Are you going to pay the money?
Oh no.
No, he's not. There you go. There you go.
I might watch it, but I'm not going to pay the money.
Okay.
I'd much rather give money to charity. So I'll do that. I'll give money to charity instead.
There you go.
And then watch it illegally.
Excellent. Good. You've just said that live on air. So. Wonderful.
Legally, or watch it.
Yeah, exactly. We all know. We know you're an upstanding citizen, so it's fine.
Yeah, so. With charity money offsets that, surely.
I would agree. Yeah. Steve Bruce would agree with you. So
yeah. Oh, that's all right. Me and Stevie Bruce.
Yeah.
Stuart Downing doesn't have a middle name, by the way, in case you're wondering. No middle name.
Oh, he strikes me as a Graham. Stuart Graham Downing is what. Yeah.
Yeah, he should have spoken to his parents. That would have been a good name for him.
Exactly. So,
yeah, right,
other than that, no AOB from me.
No AOB. Okay, excellent. Well, that brings an end to this week's podcast. And see lots of football this week coming up, and we'll be here next week. So you can check us out then, and check out our back catalogue on YouTube, on Spotify, on SoundCloud. Give us a like, subscribe, and interact. And we're also on Twitter, spouting nonsense mainly. And you can see our sensible bets if you want to get involved sensibly and have some fun. Please do let us know. Until then, goodbye.
Ow!
Oh.